Look amazing, America's F-22 Raptor would destroy Russia or China's best fighters. With Russia and China deploying advanced new fighters and surface-to-air missiles, SAM, the task of gaining and maintaining air superiority over an increasingly more lethal battlespace falls to a small and elite group of U.S. Air Force pilots flying the mighty Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor. Conceived during the waning years of the Cold War, the stealthy high-flying supersonically cruising Raptor was designed to defeat the most fearsome weapons the Soviet Union could hurl at the United States and NATO during a Third World War in Europe. However, with the end of the Cold War and subsequent 1991 collapse of the Soviet Union, the F-22 was left without a mission, or so it was thought. Indeed, the second Bush and Obama administrations cancelled the F-22 program in 2008 after only 195 aircraft 187 production planes were ordered because they made the assumption that high-end state-on-state conflicts were a relic of the past. However, as it is becoming increasingly apparent, they were wrong. Earlier this year, Defense Secretary Ashton Carter spoke about a return to great power competition. We will be prepared for a high-end enemy. That's what we call full spectrum. In our budget, our plans, our capabilities and our actions, we must demonstrate to potential foes, that if they start a war, we have the capability to win. Because the force that can deter conflict, must show that it can dominate a conflict, Carter said, speaking at the Washington Economic Club in February. In this context, Russia and China are our most stressing competitors. They have developed and are continuing to advance military systems that seek to threaten our advantages in specific areas. And in some case, they are developing weapons and ways of wars that seek to achieve their objectives rapidly, before they hope we can respond. Indeed, even after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia protected the best of its military-industrial capabilities as much as it could during the economic and social meltdown of the 1990s. Despite its severe problems, Russia managed to develop and field advanced weapons systems such as the Su-35S Flanker E, S-300 V4 and S-400 among others. Meanwhile, a rising China modernized its forces in earnest, developing new fighters and new SAM systems such as the formidable J-16 and HQ-9. Thus, while Washington took its eyes off potential challengers to focus on the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, leaders in Beijing and Moscow continued to modernize their militaries to keep American forces at bay in the event of a future conflict. The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor is a fifth-generation, single-seat, twin-engine, all-weather stealth tactical fighter aircraft developed for the United States Air Force, U.S. Air Force. The result of the U.S. Air Force Advanced Tactical Fighter Program, the aircraft was designed primarily as an air superiority fighter, but also has ground attack, electronic warfare, and signal intelligence capabilities. 6. The prime contractor, Lockheed Martin, built most of the F-22's airframe and weapons systems and conducted final assembly, while Boeing provided the wings, aft fuselage, avionics integration, and training systems. The aircraft was variously designated F-22 and F/A-22 before it formally entered service in December 2005 as the F-22A. After a protracted development and despite operational issues, the U.S. Air Force considers the F-22 critical to its tactical air power, and says that the aircraft is unmatched by any known or projected fighter. 7. The Raptor's combination of stealth, aerodynamic performance, and situational awareness gives the aircraft unprecedented air combat capabilities. 8-9. The high cost of the aircraft, a lack of clear air-to-air missions due to delays in Russian and Chinese fighter programs, a ban on exports, and development of the more versatile F-35 led to the end of F-22 production. And a final procurement tally of 187 operational production aircraft was established in 2009, and the last F-22 was delivered to the U.S. Air Force in 2012. In 1981, the U.S. Air Force developed a requirement for an Advanced Tactical Fighter, ATF, as a new air superiority fighter to replace the F-15 Eagle and F-16 Fighting Falcon. Codenamed Senior Sky, this program was influenced by the emerging worldwide threats, including development and proliferation of Soviet Su-27 flanker and MiG-29 Fulcrum-class fighter aircraft. 11. It would take advantage of the new technologies in fighter design on the horizon, including composite materials, lightweight alloys, advanced flight control systems, more powerful propulsion systems, and stealth technology. The Request for Proposals, RFP, was issued in July 1986 and two contractor teams, Lockheed/Boeing/General Dynamics and Northrop/McDonnell Douglas, were selected on October 31, 1986 to undertake a 50-month demonstration phase, culminating in the flight test of two technology demonstrator prototypes, the YF-22 and the YF-23. 12-13 The program was managed by the Advanced Tactical Fighter Systems Program Office, ATF-SPO, located at Wright-Patterson AFB. Each design team produced 2 prototype air vehicles, one for each of the 2 engine options. The Lockheed-led team employed thrust vectoring nozzles on YF-22 for enhanced maneuverability in dogfights. The ATF's increasing weight and cost drove out certain requirements during development. Side-looking radars were deleted, and the dedicated infrared search and track (IRST) system was downgraded from multicolor to single color and then deleted as well. However, space and cooling provisions were retained to allow for future addition of these components. The ejection seat requirement was downgraded from a fresh design to the existing McDonnell Douglas ACES II. 14. After the flight test demonstration and validation of the prototypes, on April 23, 1991, Secretary of the U.S. Air Force Donald Rice announced the YF-22 as the winner of the ATF competition. 15. The YF-23 design was considered stealthier and faster, while the YF-22 was more maneuverable. 16. The aviation press speculated that the YF-22 was also more adaptable to the U.S. Navy's Navalized Advanced Tactical Fighter, NATF, but by 1992, the Navy had abandoned NATF. 17. Thanks for watching and don't forget your subscribe.